Hello everybody, Darren here, and welcome back to Frostpunk 2. Now in the last episode we got familiar with the city of New London for the first time, expanding the districts, saving on heat everywhere we could, and securing the last of the coal veins. We've also just established the council and passed the vote of confidence for our stewardship. Today, we seek to go beyond our borders and find oil, a more long-lasting source of fuel for our city. All the while, we're battling the rising tensions between our conflicting groups. Let's begin. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're picking up right where we left off at the end of the last episode after the vote of confidence in the council has been swayed our way. Maybe we had to grease a few palms to make that go through, but it's all good. We remain in power for now. Tension is quite low in the city. We are trusted amongst our communities and our faction. I did forget to mention the Stalwarts are a faction, so they have 3 traits, and they're a little bit more involved. The other 2 are just communities for now, until they splinter off and form new groups, no doubt. Alright, so I thought we'd just do a quick little recap as to the current situation so we're all up on the same page, we all understand what we're facing. So over on the left, we have our promise to the New Londoners. We told them, hey, you get us in there, we'll give you your automated logistics bay. So we have to research that. We also now have a new objective, finding a new source of fuel, building a logistics district on an old way station, and then finding a permanent source of fuel outside of the city. Totally fine. We should be fine at doing that. Right now, if we zoom out, we can't really see much else, but there are little objective markers in the distance, which I assume is an indication as to... well, we'll find out, I guess, as to where that oil might be. I think that's pretty much it. The very last thing to touch on would be 8,000 population, totally fine. 37% of the way to the next census, where we get more workforce available. We only have 300 right now, quite low, and we're making a pittance on heat stamps. We're only getting 9 per week. Very low indeed. An unmet demand for goods is giving us a negative 3.2 because we don't have enough right now. We're pretty much doing fine for resources though. You know, we're actually in a surplus of coal, gaining 140 it's per day, right? Yeah, I was just get a bit confused with that. But yeah, it's per day. We have extra shelter, so more than we need, so everyone has a home right now. Food is negative 6. I don't like it being in the negative, but at least it's very, very manageable. It's going to last us 480 weeks as it currently stands. This one's not so good though. Materials, negative 110. So that's going to be causing problems. We're eating into the stockpile fairly rapidly, I would say. 60 weeks to go. And we want to kind of sort out the goods situation. As for the weather, people are warm, the generator's supplying everybody, we're stockpiling coal, but the temperature is going to drop soon, so we want to kind of anticipate that. And I'm sure when the census takes over, we're going to run out of housing, so we got to think about housing and the increased food demand as well. I don't know how much population growth we get. It just says it's growing, right? So it just says it meaningfully increases, so we'll see how much of a percentage it does. If it's a percentage at all. Alright, so that's pretty much it. Let's decide what we're going to do first. One of the first things is we have a new tech available, right? So we should be getting something kind of, not all the time, but most of the time we should be looking for something. I had a quick look around in between episodes. We could go straight for the logistics bay, but I feel like we don't need it yet. We've got a lot of time on that. I think it said something like 40 weeks, so we can get to it later. Housing insulation I think would be good. So New Londoners, Stalwarts agree with this idea. Right, so it's basically the same for everybody. It's a asbestos lining. Take advantage of the natural properties of its fibers. Dwellings will be upgraded with asbestos-laden materials to prevent heat leaks and promote energy conservation. I can see nothing wrong with that whatsoever, but we'll go with it. So it doesn't actually say what the heat demand reduction will be, but I assume it'll be significant, so we want to go with that. So I'll lean into the New Londoners. We want to keep them happy. Let's go... I don't know if that even works, by the way. If they all agree with it, I assume it's all the same, but I don't know. So that's going to take a few weeks. The other thing is then passing another law, but we can't do that for 9 weeks. So that's it. We'll let time play. Not much else for us to do, really, until we build up more workforce and more heat stamps to be able to crack open some ice and then get out to the old way station. The steward's promises will be the city's ruin. Euphemia Buckley doesn't really believe in us there. Now, if we have a quick... oh. Good, says Alexander Rayner. This will supply us, at least for a while, the Stalwart. He's happy with things. So if we have a quick look at... what are they saying? It'll not last long. We need to search outside the city. She ain't wrong. Claudia Rayner knows what's up. Right, so if we hold Alt, we can obviously see where the resources are. We have a way station here, here, and one just kind of behind me, right down at the bottom here. Gonna go for this one. It seems like it's probably within reach of one frost breaking away, because we've frost broken all the way out to this area. But we need a little bit more money before we can do that. We need 30 in total. So next week, we should be able to have enough to start cracking our way out there, building a logistics district and seeing how we get on. Do I have enough workforce for it? Yes, we do. Just about. Right. It's weird. The money only goes up on day 2.5. You know, between day 2 and 3 of the week. You think it'd be the first of the week, but I guess not. Alright, so let's go from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Totally good. We'll crack into the little area as well, because we might end up using that. Alright, frost breaking is commencing as we try to break our way out of this area so we can search around us. Alright, let's just speed up then. I think everything's in motion. We're going to be waiting for the council to be allowing us to get new votes and stuff going, and new laws. I was looking through the law screen in between episodes as well, just so I wasn't staring and wondering what everything does. I'll you know, probably keep doing that. And, yeah, some childhood labor laws seem pretty good. You know, some food laws seem pretty decent. A lot of them early on seem to just give you benefits, so it's good to just choose a few. I don't see many drawbacks anyway listed, but you never know with this game, really. Right, the next thing I'd like to get ready for, well, ultimately it's the logistics district, right? So we need 400 workforce for that, so I don't quite have that. But we don't want to wait how much time that's going to be. We only have 50% progress for the next population cycle. So what I think we could do, we've got 725 prefabs right now. The extraction district here that's making the prefabs, we could just lower that down. Get some of the workforce back, right? So now we've got 420, so that's enough. In fact, we could go really far down if we felt we had the prefabs, and we could mitigate the materials demand. That's quite interesting. We'll keep it where it was. So we're lowering materials demand by 10, not much, but at least we got the workforce now to continue doing what we were doing. And we can now get building that logistics district. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, snaking our way out here. Let's have a read of it while it's being done in the background. So, it sends charting expeditions to the Frostland. Now the colder season is hit, and transports resources between city and its colonies and outposts. It's going to give us 15 Frostland teams, but require more materials and more heat. Materials is really starting to drag, I would say. You know what? I think it's time for a shakedown. I'm waiting for money a bit too much, in my opinion, so let's talk to these new Londoners. I would like to raise funds. That'd be 216 heat stamps. I wonder if we complete their promise after we do this one. If we get a boost in trust, could we get more money from them? Let's test that out. Our next law, or next idea is almost done. We've got 55 heat stamps, so we can start frost breaking out somewhere else. The asbestos lining has been a new passive boost, so it is just an activated passive boost. That's really good, because I was worried that maybe it was you need to build something or something like that, but I guess not. So we can have a quick look at it just one more time. Housing insulation. Base heat demand of housing districts is decreased. Yeah, cool. Done. Don't have to worry about it. Yeah, it provides a passive bonus. Sweet. So if we were to check a housing district now, although admittedly a lot of my houses had 0 heat anyway. But yeah, plus 20. Wow, that's actually really significant. Okay, good. So that pretty much wipes out the negative that we just received, and maybe the next negative as well, I think. If it's linear, right? 10% degree drop is 10 heat, I would imagine. So we're still stockpiling coal. Don't have to do anything else. Okay, so the next thing then I'd like to do is, we don't have enough workforce for frost breaking. Because of course we're building this district. So let's lower down the prefabs even further. So now that's enough workforce to continue the frost breaking. So in this little pocket here, we've got 10 shelter and 20 heat. That's where I want my next housing district. So we'll do... And how much is this? Is 50 heat... Oh no, it's only 30 heat stamps. Cool. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... So that's everything in the pocket, but we want to provide area around it, right? Something like that? Maybe actually up there would be good? Okay. Let's see how that treats us. Once we get... Oh, we already got another 30. I wanted to start looking then for more food. So in between episodes, again, I was looking at where we could go. And there's a huge pocket of loads of little bits of food out here. But more importantly, there's a infinite source, right? 100 million, it says, in the deep ground. So we don't have to worry about that. But if we can get out to there, then yeah, it's going to be a long-lasting source of food. Now, something else I've been realizing is that food districts provide heat. so does extraction districts. Like these ones, sorry, the yellow. But extraction districts provide squalor if they're next to housing. But they do also provide heat, so it's like, okay, we could maybe ease up on coal if we can, you know, put up with the squalor. However, you don't get squalor from the food districts. So building food nearby housing and keeping them next to each other would actually give you heat bonuses. And again, reduce the, you know, the consumption of coal, basically. So it's kind of tempting out here to kind of strategically place these around a little bit and maybe dot housing in between them. That seems like it would make sense, especially for the infinite ones, right? Not so much for the ones that might eventually get dismantled. But you don't have to dismantle them, I guess, either. Alright. Logistics is still being built. And I can't do any more frost breaking. Even though we have the money, I have to wait for the workforce to be done with their current frost breaking down here. Logistics district is being built. We can now survey the frozen lands around New London and find a source of fuel to ensure its future. Oh my god. This looks so cool. It's like the Game of Thrones intro. Right, so New London, 8,000 people. Nobody's died yet, I don't think. And we've got a little spot here. Makeshift shelters. Overpopulation and dwindling fuel reserves forced many residents of New London to take refuge in these temporary shelters built around a small hot spring. Its inhabitants wait for the conditions to improve for them to return to home. So 5 teams will bring 2,600 people back. We're so short on workforce, I think that's imperative. Now, the Frozen Bay requires 10. Possible findings? Frostland dwellers. It's safe. What about here? Possible findings, a lot more. Prefabs, cores, and people. 10 as well. Takes about the same time, 15 weeks, is it? Pretty much. The area had an old coal mine. Where else could we go? The Gorge. Dangerous threat level. 20 required. Can't really go there right now. Same with here. Well, I'll tell you what. We're not hurting for coal. Although there's people there too. I guess we could just do both. It won't take that long. 15 weeks. Alright, we'll take in these guys. It's 5. And we get 2,600 people. And then we'll also send an expedition here. It's 10. See what we find. Alright, cool. Let time play. So over 30 years ago, the Imperial Exploration Company landed here to build the region's generators. A few hastily dismantled piers still stick out of the ice. A faded reminder of their short-lived purpose at the Frozen Bay. Might be a callback to the prequel DLC. That's so faint, but he's saying first expeditions are on their way. The district is being built or something. Alright, I just always feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, cool, you could actually see... Oh, the people have just arrived, have they? Just like... Wow, that was super quick. Yeah, they're back. They've already made it. So we've already gone down in housing, we're consuming more food. And the music is swelling. Alright, we should have what we need then to build a new housing district. So what we want is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... and 6. This gives us our double bonus again. 10 shelter, 20 heat. Nestled in there into the edges of the cliffs. Awesome. I would say increase the prefabs again. We're going to need them. But look at the absolute massive drain on our materials now. Now, with a little bit more money, in fact, I think now's the time for the shakedown. Oh no, we haven't researched that thing yet. Alright, let's try to do that. So they want it in here. We need a little bit more heat stamps. Just 50, okay. Once we get that done, then we'll shake them down, see if my theory is true that we get more money from them. Now, actually, thinking about it, the population has just increased. And we can get 376. Okay, you know what? It's enough. I need the money now. Let's not dilly-dally and waste time. Give me that money. You just came into the city for free. I want an extra 100 from you guys. From all those extra people. Hopefully they're not too mad about that. They seem fine with it. Alright, now, having that done means we can build 2 districts at the same time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Might be a little wedged in there. Maybe we need to... I could wrap around, but that's not a good idea. Let's see. Housing districts. What? Ah, we can actually go out this way. I didn't even realize. So that gives us our near... So we're wrapped around the other district, so we already get a plus 20. And then being in the stable crevasse, just even a little bit more. Wow, that's a lot of heat. That's 50 heat straight off the bat. And then we can go up on the cliff. They don't mind. Okay, good. Should prove fruitful. What we'll also need to do is then frost break out around here a bit, because you could get some at least heat bonuses with another one. But we also have another crevasse over here. So same thing. So there's more area there. And then we have the one that's out here, which I actually only noticed in between episodes. 10 shelter and 20 heat. Pretty far out there, though. So we'll get that later. Now, I'm sorry to keep pausing it. I'm going to be pausing it a lot, right? Because I'm scared, basically. So we've got... Everything's good here. We've got money. Prefabs is actually alarmingly low. And we now have increased the amount we're getting. But we're still only getting 15 per week. And we need prefabs to build. We could do a lot of frost breaking, but there's more prefabs here. So another extraction district, methinks. 1, 2, and 3. So we get the heat bonus in there, but we're not providing the squalor bonus or the heat to the other district. I don't want to. We could if we wrapped around it. Right, so that would do it. Don't want to do that, though. I don't really want increased squalor. And we can sacrifice the heat, I think. So there we go. That's 3 little resources of prefabs. Get that started. And can we do one more? So out here is just straight up materials. Again, something we're very low on. Although we're also low on food. Let's begin the frost breaking out this way. Maybe down there. Alright, lots of projects on the go. So, housing's being built. 2 lots of housing, right? 2 lots of housing being built, a new extraction district for prefabs, and a new frost breaking all the way out to get some food. We also got that money, so we want to get the automated logistics bays. We promised it to the new Londoners, so I guess we'll just click them and go with this. So it's automated or Vanguard. 20 Frostland teams, 600 workforce, or 15 for 500. So less efficient, I guess, overall, but this is what we promised. Now, the construction cost, okay, that's fine. Logistics bay, where machines manufacture expedition equipment on demand to minimize personnel and storage needs. We don't have to actually build the thing. You can get both ideas, right? And build which one you want to appease both sides. And then eventually they're going to start asking us to demolish each other's buildings because they're like, we don't want that idea in the world. Or not idea, but idea being actually constructed and followed through. Like, remove it. Go with our building. So it's interesting. You can research both types of ideas, appeasing them a little bit, but then actually building the thing can appease or annoy the other side. Got like little tunnels here. Nice. Coal is building up. I'm not sure why. We are consuming our coal, but we're just eating into our stockpile. It's going to last 316 weeks. I think we're fine. Now, when the temperature drops again, I'd be pretty tempted to just boost the generator, because it's only a couple weeks. I say a couple weeks. It's like 20 weeks between the 2 temperature changes there, but that would allow us to actually stockpile coal, even when it gets colder. Alright, squalor is stable. Crime is minor and stable. Speaking of crime, laws. So, one way we can help crime is in society. Although it's locked for us. But you can do it, and it basically all tackles the same stuff. Basic necessities. This is one thing I thought would be good as well. The paid essentials. So production efficiency is slightly increased. Heat stamps income per capita is slightly increased. It's supported by the Stalwarts. So to foster responsibility and reward work, citizens will be charged a small fee in exchange for essentials, such as basic rations and clothing. So you can get your stuff, or we could just hand it out to everybody. Leaning more in favor of that. That would be meritocracy, right? But I reckon we go with the children rule first. No common rules are in effect right now, but we could go with either family apprenticeship or mandatory schooling. So this leans more towards reason, this leans more towards tradition. I'm in favor of reason, personally. Even though there is a negative to heat stamps, if we combine it with the other thing we just talked about, maybe they'd even out. So research speed is increased. Now the percentage of active workers is increased, but we've just seen that we can get population pretty easily, I think. So for now, we're okay. Until we get desperate, maybe we'll reverse the law. More people are actually in favor of this one, so we could just propose it without even trying to twist a few grease a few palms, as I keep saying. I always want to say twist a few elbows. That's not a saying, I don't think. Alright, propose this one then. Mandatory school. Now, we could negotiate to guarantee it. 38 of the 59 New London delegates, 21 of the 32 Frostland delegates. Oh yeah, by the way, I've got the, I just upgraded since the last episode to the deluxe edition, but you have to go back out to the main menu and change it. You can get a different looking council chamber, only slightly. I did have a look at it. But yeah, I forgot to save the settings, so I'll have to do that again. It's only a very small, minor thing. It's a bit of a strange one, but yeah, it's kind of cool that it's there, I guess. Let's negotiate. Let's see what we could be negotiating for. They won't negotiate because they have an active promise. But the Frostlanders are open to it. Active promise, eh? Well, before we go ahead with this vote, how long would that take? 10 more weeks, and then we try it. Okay, got an idea then. What we'll do is we'll go with the other one I looked at. Sorry for being back and forth on this, but basic necessities, we're going to go with paid essentials. Propose this law instead. We'll just run it as a regular vote. I don't mind if it doesn't go through. Then we'll have a cooldown of 10 weeks, and then we'll try to get the other guys to agree about what should happen with children. We need 51. Come on. Oh, yeah.
Hear ye. The delegates have spoken.
Nice.
The law takes effect.
A new law regarding paid necessity or basic necessities takes effect. Sweet. Alright, that should increase our heat stamps. We're now making 11. Paid essentials is giving us 2.1. The deficit in goods grows ever larger, though, as our population does.
New rule enters into force.
Sue Miller, 12, a street urchin. Cindy's Paul went and got her a governess. Like she's gonna be a duchess or something. Not on our watch. We roughed up the little bitch alright. Ferguson's boy will learn this too. If they try and wife us again tonight, we'll pull razors and say we cut out their eyes. It'll be good fun. So vicious. I've seen this event before in the beta, and it still gets me. Anyway, but what we want is a proper rumble. Short blades only. Come on, who wants to play? A lack of law regulating childhood is causing tension to rise throughout the city. This is exactly why we wanted to pass a childhood law. Crime has been affected. No common rules. Childhood has been increased. They're running rampant out there. Alright, top right, I assume this is our expeditions. Right, so I don't think it's actually the journey time to get there like it was in the first game, because these guys came back so quick. I think it's more about exploring the entire tile, an area. Got it. Find a permanent source. Okay, so what's our situation? 600 workforce available. Could be doing something. Want everyone working all the time, because we can always shift them and move them around, turn off districts. 285 heat stamps. Let's get that food built, huh? What are we missing for it? Prefabs. Damn. Yeah, the question is, do we build prefabs? Do we put them on emergency shift, maybe? Do we boost? How many are we getting now? 32 per week. That's pretty good. I reckon we don't need to go to any extremes just yet. We'll just wait a little longer. What we could do, though, in the meantime is frost break somewhere else in anticipation of getting more of that stuff. There's unlimited materials up there. We could make our way out to extra housing, potentially. How's our housing situation now? It's obviously fine. And we have housing already uncovered out here. Could do a bit more frost breaking around either side, though. Something like that. And that allows us to split our districts and get the bonuses correct. Alright. Speed up time. 8 registered to sick. Don't like seeing that. Let's, still can't... Oh, we need more workforce. Okay, now that we have the prefabs, just gonna lower this down a little bit. Get the workforce we need. Start building the food district. Once the frost breaking is done, then... There we go. Once the frost breaking is done, then we get that workforce back and we'll put them back on the district. Okay, I think we're done, right? Nice. Alright, gaining 32 per week. Love to see it. Stockpiling coal.
The price of gruel has been reduced. This week only.
Man, that's dark. The price of gruel. Brilliant. 61% on our idea tree for the automated logistics base. Hopefully we'll get a little bit of a buff from those guys and they'll be happy. We've built up a lot with merit already. I say a lot. It's obviously not that much, but just compared to the others, it's far and away ahead. Now, I just realized we got 5 Frostland teams not doing anything. Can't do anything with them though, right? We need 10 to go out to the other place. Maybe we can do something with the 5 in there. Right, new food district being built. Keep it on double speed for a little while. 8 people sick have returned to work. Awesome. No absences. 9 available. Oh, population increased. Just like that. We've reached our next milestone. Another 1,000 are ready to go. The city grows. Steward, a new count has revealed significant growth in our population in recent weeks. Some attribute the rise to an influx of settlers from the Frostland, others to births outnumbering deaths. Whatever the cause, we've adjusted our calculations of the city's needs to reflect the new numbers. 1599. I don't like, it was all even numbers before. I guess that's more natural. Right. Now, just as that happened, we've just accommodated a new food district, or built one, to accommodate those new people, although we're still eating into our food. 62 weeks now. The materials, 16 weeks. So we're going to hit these deficits soon. As soon as they go into the negative, we get problems, right? So we really, really, really need to get on top of these. Okay, so we still have good money from our Shakedown earlier. We've got another unlimited food deposit over there. Might be worth going for that one instead of going for the piecemeal ones. And eventually, if we need more, go for the piecemeal ones, right? I think that's my logic on this. Do we want to maybe navigate out that way? Well, hang on a second. We get a heat bonus from food. Okay, we can snake out. I don't necessarily see a problem with that. Yeah, and then we can just crack this area, and yeah, that could be good. Okay, cool. Get more food on the go. We're actually lacking a little bit of shelter. Maybe another housing district, it's time. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 10 shelter, 20 heat. Love to see it. What's this? Feral children, no common rules. We're almost ready to pass it. Give me a break. Steward, 5 children are... Oh my god. Oh, that popped up in the bottom right, didn't it? Oh, no. 5 children are dead, and dozens lay wounded after 2 large youth gangs met for what they called a rumble. Most of the children were armed with knives. The fighting escalated to a full-scale battle. As the parents of the deceased mourn, many insist these children should not be left unattended. Indeed, many backstreet alleys seem to be overtaken by uncared-for youth. Some areas are beginning to be dangerous, even for adults. I will resolve this issue. I had planned to, I promise, but maybe if I had done that first, things would have been different. 5 children died at the rumble. Damn. The demands have been met for the new Londoners. Trust rises, relations improve. Good. Alright, so automated logistics base. We could build it and get extra Frostland teams right now. Need 60 prefabs to do so. So 2 more weeks and we'd have enough. That means you don't need a whole new district. And it only requires workforce. No extra heat, no extra anything like that. Tempting. But damn, that's really thrown me, that kind of thing happening. Anyway, the idea tree. Nope, not the idea tree. We've passed that. Now we want to do the council. Let's try this again. Society, childhood, mandatory schooling. Put them in school. Stop them fighting on the streets. We're going to negotiate. Now that our guy's idea has been solved and their problem is solved, we can get the new Londoners to help us. Look at them, 59. Vote for it, please. What do you want? Okay, so enact city development effort. Everyone must support the production of prefabs to help the expansion of the city. Main district provides a small amount of prefabs. Alright, well, that's kind of interesting. A small step towards progress. Goods production efficiency is increased. We don't even make any right now, I don't think, other than what comes out of the center. And use a community action on new Londoners. Grant them an agenda. They'll choose the next law to be voted on. I kind of like that. Yeah, sure. It doesn't have to go through. But you can choose. It's only 10 weeks. I think that's okay. This is pretty tempting just to have to agree to pass anyway, but why not just let them foot the bill themselves and we'll see what happens. Alright. Please vote. What a charade.
The proposed law has been
Alright. Childhood law has been regulated. Makes sense. 5 kids are dead in the street. We need a vote on this, huh? Have you heard, Susie? You're going to school. I'm so happy. Is that Susie? Is that the one that was in the first event? I think so, right?
The delegates
Vera
have reached a decision.
Vera Tomlinson. I won't let them do your head in with their rubbish, kid. Oh, someone's against the idea of going to school. Okay, cool. Frostland is being explored. Let's see what's going on. Okay, so we've opened up 2 new things. And we've opened up the Desolate Coast. And that looks like an oil symbol to me. Possible findings, oil. Could be empty, though. Who knows? But let's just have a look at this first. Getting ahead of myself. So, the others. In a cavern near the bay, we found a disturbing sight. Bodies in sturdy Frostland gear, neatly laid side by side and left to freeze, with black oil markings over their closed eyes. A ghastly burial ritual? A map we found suggests they were heading to an old machine somewhere by the Desolate Coast, which is out here. A machine would require a source of fuel. We should investigate. Okay, that's just gone now. And then this one, a fishing village. A community of Frostlanders are eking out a pitiful living off moss and small fish. With no furnace, they survive by sleeping shoulder to shoulder under thick layers of fur. They would undoubtedly prefer to live in New London. Take them in. 5 Frostlanders could be doing that. 1,949 Frostlanders. Or come back later. Yes, bring them in. And what's this? Now that they've departed, we can use the village to provide fish. An outpost here could supply 100 food until its deposit of 80,000 is depleted. It also requires 5 teams. Ah. Well, I'll wait for our other guys to come back, right? So they're there. They have to make that journey. In the meantime, we'll explore the Desolate Coast, because that requires 10. Over the years, there were sightings of nomadic people roaming this area. Even if true, it's unlikely they would have survived so long on their own, without a source of fuel. Let's find out what's going on out there. Alright, that spent all of them for now. Clearly, we need more teams. Do we have what we need to build that building? We need 60 prefabs. Alright, 1 more week to go. Evelyn Allison. Is it wise for the steward to listen to them? And Rufina Cunningham, the steward promised them some nonsense. The Stalwarts are loving life. We could definitely shake them down. What kind of situations or things do they have for us? Favors, raising funds, demanding funds. Council, promote. They'll gain members and potentially secure additional seats on the council. If we like the kind of law. See, this is the thing I found difficult in the beta. It's like, I don't know who I want to promote or not. They do only have 1,000 members. What percentage is that? 9%. That's small.
Steward.
Fund their projects. Make a promise or grant them an agenda. Special stuff. Mobilize the enforcers. You get extra crime enforcers. Maybe we should do that. We've got a notable and growing crime problem due to our goods scarcity. So we could mobilize the enforcers. We've got 10. It's not really doing that much though, is it? Decrease by guard squads. Maybe we can increase it further. 482 people have joined that group now. They're loving it. They wanted to get out there. They're like, oh, we get to do a little enforcing, do we? They've moved from the other groups now. Yeah, interesting. 52 weeks is how long it lasts. So we have 15 now. Does that just stay there forever? Or is it after the 52 weeks? Because this is just allows us to get more squads, doesn't it? I don't know. We'll find out. It's still growing, though. Yeah, we need to get on top of that. We also... I don't like seeing it really positive, because I'm like, yeah, we could get something out of them, like money and stuff. But we're okay for money. And we could promote them. And then possibly even gain, like, the parade or whatever happens when they get really happy. So... 31%... And these are, what... 13%, and that's 56. I say promote them. I genuinely like their ethics. Generally, anyway. Let's do it. So now they're up to 17. That's good. It's nothing too dramatic. I think that's totally reasonable and fair. 2,100 members now. Alright. Well, game saving. It's not letting me walk that decision back. Infectious agents, the first crack. Steward, during a routine medical examination performed by Stalwarts, a small group of Frostlanders refused to be assessed. These checkups are relics of years past, when a cough could endanger the city. That's gone now. We've adapted, one said. No point continuing this invasion of privacy. The Stalwarts maintain that regular physicals help ensure the safety of our workers. It's vital we we monitor our citizens' health. One foreman pushed back. We have had epidemics in the past. We mustn't allow another one. Allow mandatory checkups, ban the checkups, or don't interfere. All communities don't like that. This subgroup of Frostlanders will support this decision, or if we allow it, a subgroup of Frostlanders will oppose it. I don't know. What's the harm really in checking if people are sick? It's not that bad, is it? We're not forcing them to do anything. Remember, we don't have any laws where they have to wear a badge or anything like that. That's a bit much. But, you know, saying like, hey, getting a regular checkup, if anything, that's like a really positive thing, isn't it? Yes. We'll go with that. Frostlanders be a little unhappy, but it's not too bad. These guys are loving life now. They're devoted. Hell yeah. I need to learn more about that. I'll look in between episodes so I don't waste too much more time. Bloody Stalwarts. The steward stands behind us. I do. In this one, you know, I'd love a mandatory. If I had a thing where it's like, oh, every year you gotta go get checked for cancer, I'd be like, yeah, let's do it. Whatever. It's fine by me. I know it's not quite the same, but let's just pretend it is. Let's strawman the argument. Right, 5 teams are available. Let's click this and click harvest, and then they just go back and forth, do they? Or it's just automatic, is it? Is that it? Trails. 10 Frostland teams. We don't have what we need. Let me just see. No, it works. We do have it. Plus 100 from the fishing village. Yeah. Nice. That's actually kind of too easy. Because you do set up like little train tracks and stuff normally, right? Between these places. Although that might not be an official outpost or something. Not really too sure why. So what's happened out here? Nothing yet. We're still uncovering it. Okay, cool. Alright, find a permanent source of fuel outside the city and use the grant agenda on New Londoners. Oh, I actually have to do that manually. I didn't realize. I guess we have to wait. Relations improve with New Londoners. New Londoners choose the next law. Yeah, you can do that right away. Oh, I see. I get it. It gives us some time to... Okay. Alright, they're happy as well. And when the laws come around next, they'll be the ones to throw them up, right? Now it's our turn to decide. 291 heat stamps, 200 prefabs. Prefabs will be the next thing I want to go get. Or materials and stuff, so then we can make goods districts.
During school hours will be punished.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8. And then once that's broken open, we'll build a new district here to grab some of those extra materials, because we are bleeding materials badly. 195, that's insane. Gotta fix that. And coal is going down a bit quicker now. Things are getting bad. It might not feel like it, but they are. I can tell. These extra people, excuse me, have come in a little bit too quick. 1,900 workforce not doing anything. Our bottleneck is now building materials and money. And frost breaking. Got more food ready to go there, but I didn't actually need it in the end. Yeah. Automated logistics bay. Slam it in there. 500 workforce, that puts them to work once it gets done. And we'll be able to send out 15 additional teams. So we can go explore the other side of the map. Hopefully at the same time. How are we looking temperature-wise? We're okay. Let's speed up time then a little bit.
Steward.
Deposits run low. Coal is running out. Steward, some of the coal deposits in this district will soon run out. The Stalwarts and New Londoners believe they can use explosives to access deeper veins of coal. The Frostlanders say we should send children for missed ore in the tighter tunnels. Some did this as kids themselves in the abandoned mine outpost, and they survived unscathed. Should we support any of these ideas to extend the deposit? Avoid all risks. We should not risk any dramatic actions. Coal will remain at the current levels. Recruit the children or lay explosives. Both of these seem... The explosives not so bad, right? Relations improve with the New Londoners and Stalwarts. Just explosives, man. I don't know. People are gonna die. It's guaranteed, right? People are gonna die, and probably kids are gonna die. Avoid the risks. We're on to oil. I can handle it. 125 weeks. We have another coal deposit. Let's not jump to any rash decisions. Resources are nearly depleted. Gotta fix the goods issue. That's priority number one, because crime is getting out of control. I mean, it's stable, but it's a notable crime problem right now. Right, material district. Let's go. Now, this demands 20 heat. We could do this. That would save our heat. I think we need to do that everywhere we can. Almost as much as possible. We only get to the deposits, then we'll build another one here. And then connect another one to it, and that'll get heat as well, I guess. Alright. At least food is really good now. We'll just let it stockpile, and then we'll reduce the numbers of people gathering food. So are there prefabs anywhere else, or is that it? That will be it. Once we run out of those prefabs, that's it. So we need to get materials, and we need to get the infinite materials, and then we need to set up an industrial district to refine them into prefabs and goods. Because our sort of free building resource is about to run out. What's this? Excessive wear. Oh no. An act of vandalism. Oh my god. Repair this district for 100 prefabs. I guess we have to. Oh, I mean, we literally have to. Because it makes prefabs. It's the only thing we have right now to help us build more. Now, once these run out, and we build new districts, we get some of the prefabs back. Fishing village. Zoom to the outpost. Okay. City development effort placed on council agenda by the New Londoners. So, everyone must support. This is perfect, right? Because we could have promised that, and instead we chose not to promise it. We let them put the law forth. Either way, I guess it's going to work out the same, but it was kind of nice the way it did. So, community service, city development effort. Let's have a read of that law. Here we are. These are the other options that could have happened. You can only have one of these active at a time, right? Per category. So they're going with this one, city development. So it could have been exploration time decreased. It could have been heat demand decreased. Heat pipe watch. It could have been heat stamps income increased. But we're going with the one that makes us some prefabs, which is honestly sort of perfect for our situation, right? Because we're not making any right now. So yeah, sure. Vote. Let it happen. This is so cool. This is awesome. I love the decisions.
The delegates have spoken. The
Nice.
law takes
69.
effect.
No one's in the chamber now. It's cool. We need to zoom in next time and have a look at the people. Alright. Everybody should help build the city. So how many prefabs are we getting now? 3.2. Is that... I'm not too sure. Central District's making 5. Extraction District, 32. The law was for the central, right? Just wanted to make sure. I like to understand where these things are coming from, just so I know how they'll be cut off. The main district provides a small amount of prefabs. Okay, then. The Central District. 5 prefabs per week. That's it. Okay. I want no part of this wanton, unsustainable development. Well, why don't you get the hell out of here then, huh? No one's forcing you to stay. Frostlanders are a little bit unhappy. Could always shake down these guys again for money and give them to them instead. Maybe appease them that way. Or we'll just try to pass maybe a law of theirs. Our trust is really high and tension is really low, so I don't think them being annoyed is really a problem. Do they own different districts? Isn't that like a thing or something? I'm not sure if that's happened yet, or if that's something you get later in the game. Look at this, by the way. How good am I? Using the district proximity effects, we've eliminated heat for all of these districts. Feels good, man. We're actually lacking a little bit of housing, and we left room here for more housing, so it would be good to get on top of that, because cold is slightly building. It does say stable, but I'd imagine with missing some shelter, it's going to build a little bit. Right, we're not getting any new tech right now, so maybe we should have a look at what else we could get. Skyways. A network of cables connecting elevated stations will allow us to run suspended trains in the Frostland without having to worry about ice and snow accumulation. It unlocks skyway connections, which can be built in the Frostland to allow the transport of more resources from colonies and outposts. Oh, wow. They all do that. That's pretty good. What else do we have? Resources. Anything to get us more, yeah, factories. A salvaging factory and mechanical factory. I don't know. This has an increased heat demand, but you get more goods output. Oh no, goods output is the same. Higher materials requirement. Less workforce. I think this one's better, and they are looking to have a better idea. Or, more happiness, right? So going with the Frostlanders, it's slightly more workforce, 100. The same amount of prefabs, less materials, the same amount of goods, and instead of making squalor, they make disease. Squalor does make disease and other things, so you're kind of just jumping straight to the disease, but the heat is also less, so I think this one's good. We'll go with this one. I wonder, could I try to get them to, like, I'll promise them I'll pass a law that they'll like or something, you know? Pick one of 3 options to promise something that furthers the Frostlanders' worldview. None of these are feasible at the moment. Is that going to make them even more unhappy? I was hoping that we just, you know, roll the thing that they want. Weather-adjusted shifts, foraged additives, or durable goods. Goods demand per capita is slightly decreased. We could pass that. Sure. And then anyway, I'm just going to get that thing. So, let's get that real quickly. In the factories, this one, go. Durable goods. That'll be the next law. Oh man, so much to think about and cover. Now, again, we've got more teams actually available, so let's get out to the foothills. Launch the expedition, please. 10 people. Now, this was the trail construction, but yeah, we can't build it. You normally just click and drag, but yeah, seems like that's it. There we go, you can see them making their way out now. Out to the foothills. A cutthroat economy. Steward, now that we are charging for essentials, some unemployed families are unable to afford basic necessities. Work goes to the worthiest. If these people were passed up, it's their own damn fault. They should put in the work instead of expecting the city to solve their problems, claimed one of the Stalwarts. Others are more measured and say we can provide them with a weekly allowance. If we can't offer them work, we'll give them a budget. Up to them to use it wisely. What should we do? Allocate an allowance to those in need. Up to them to use it responsibly. Paid Essentials provides less heat stamps, or let them fend for themselves. Handouts make people helpless. Yeah, I guess... Is this because we had unemployment? Only very little, I would say, but... Handouts make people helpless. Paid Essentials provides less heat stamps overall. I do feel for the people that might not have a job in this situation. And I worry what they'll resort to. Crime is a problem, right? So maybe we'll try to see if this helps. I'll take the hit on heat stamps. I hope I don't regret it. Mandatory school costs us negative 1.4, but paid essentials provides us 1.1, so it almost cancels each other out. The unmet demand for goods is the thing absolutely crushing our income, though. So that needs to be sorted. Big time. If we need money, we can shake down the people that love us. Alright, I always feel like I'm just forgetting something, but that's ticking, that's good, that's ticking, and this is ticking. These are okay. We're after eating up all of our materials now, pretty much. We've only got 450 left in the stockpile, so that's gone. That's basically gone. So more logistics districts, I think, if we can build them. Or sorry, extraction districts.
Do not be alarmed by any unusual noises coming from the generator. Routine maintenance work is underway.
Curiosity. So if we built there and there, we would have got the heat bonus again, but I could expand into there. That would keep this one alive. This is an infinite source, so it makes sense to expand it maybe in the future. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No. I was hoping it would get 7 that way. But then we'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'd have it... This would definitely get its bonus, but that one wouldn't. That might be alright then for now. Yeah, okay. So definitely the next one will get the bonus then. Ruby King, an apothecary, 27 years old. For years, suggesting anything against the captain meant close scrutiny from Stalwarts, but despite the bullshit booming from their bloody speakers, we've managed to find our own way. Keep to our principles, stayed frugal, put families first, watched out for our neighbors, continued our traditions. Now we've got a council. Maybe it's time for us to stop dreaming and make a change. The council has inspired people to suggest new ideas about the city's future. Boom! The Pilgrims
are now officially recognized by the city. Pilgrim delegates will be joining the next council session.
Love it. They look so awesome. Holy crap. Alright, so 551 Frostlanders have organized into a faction. These pilgrims form a resilient, spirited community held together by the bonds of tradition. They dislike city development effort, paid essentials, and mandatory school. They're all about adaptation, equality, and tradition. They can unlock deploy guides, community action, experienced pilgrims with deep knowledge on the Frost will guide scout teams. They seek to pass community service, so expedition support, supported quarantines, and family apprenticeship. That's never happening, okay? Get over it. Good relations perk, scout volunteers. Provides Frostland teams. So what's our relation perk with these guys? Whoops, wrong thing. We have to open up the council and select them this way. Extra prefabs assembly. Provides additional prefabs income when you've got good relation. Don't we have great relations with these guys? Are we getting that yet? Or does it have to go up another level? I don't know. Let's see. Opinion on the city direction. Increased by support. Slight increase. But are we getting anything from them? So prefabs. Central. Assembling extra prefabs 3.2. That seems like that's from them, right? Assembling extra prefabs. Extra prefabs assembly. I assume so. So because we've got good relations with them, that is a significant amount, I would say. 3.2. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's not massive. It's pretty good. And then, what about these guys? Oh, well, they're not a faction. They're a community. So I don't think we get... Well, let's see. So they love me right now, but they don't have one of these things that gives us perks. Got it. But we could just use their happiness to get money out of them. Some members will leave the Stalwarts. Stalwart fervor decreases. Oh, right. So they're the radicalized version of these guys, and we can de-radicalize them, getting them back in here. Favors. Raise funds. It's too soon since last time. 20 weeks. Yeah, definitely do that again, though. Okay, I'm starting to get it. So these guys obviously don't like us because we're leaning more into these guys' ethics. Makes total sense. And the bigger they are, which is considerable, 35% and then 4%, the more riots we're going to have and districts going offline, which hurts everybody. So we don't want that. Speaking of districts, we also need now an industrial district. It's the last thing. 600 workforce. Yeah. We're going to need that next. So it's just the workforce we don't have. Put it somewhere over here, and then we'll get some of the materials and transfer them into there. Now, in order to do that, we'll have to lower our workforce in maybe one of the other districts. We're making too much food, so we could maybe ease up on one of these. I guess on the one that's infinite we'll use up one. That gives us the workforce back that we need to get the industrial district. Now, that consumes 20 heat. Near extraction districts. So we got one bonus. Oh, you can actually stack these bonuses? That's crazy. Didn't even know that. Wow. So we have 3 different chains here. We've stacked it with one. This one. We've touched on this one just by 1 tile, so not much at all. And this one we've touched on 1. Okay, that's great info, because that means really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we just gave ourselves 40 heat. Now, the thing only consumes 20, but when the temperature drops again, which it's about to, that'll still be a nice benefit to us, right? So, makes sense, I think. Alright. Let's have a read of that district as well while it's building. It's the industrial district. It requires 100 prefabs. It's going to make us 10 prefabs at its current output, but we could switch it to make goods, which I'd probably like to do. Requires 553 more workforce to build another one, obviously, yeah. Alright. Stockpiles depleted. Stockpiles of materials the captain has gathered have run out. After so many years, our resources in the pit are growing barren. Current output will satisfy some of the demand, but problems will mount over time. We must reach for new deposits, otherwise the city and us will suffer, indeed. Alright, so we've unlocked the desolate coast. But I think enough time has passed, unfortunately, for this episode, because I just want to keep going, but we don't want it to run too long. We'll leave it there. So that's going to be it for today. This is awesome. I'm in love with the game. I can't wait to see more, and we'll keep where it's going. I know I'm playing slow, but I'm trying to be cautious. We've got problems looming. Trying to get ahead of them. Coal's running out. Prefab's running out. We're not making any goods. We've taken in a lot of people. Food is like a sort of a temporary thing. We're being buffed by the amount that's out here, so that's going to run out as well. So, lots to consider. Laws to pass. Factions to appease. That's going to have to be it for me today. Thank you very much for watching. Remember, if you haven't already, please do like the video if you enjoyed the series, and subscribe if you haven't as well. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.